Hello, welcome to my channel. I decided to paint a sunset. We have some beautiful sunsets here in Southwest Florida, and this is a sunset on Anna Maria Island beach. Not any particular beach, just the one with the palm tree, the tiki hut, all my favorite elements. So I hope you enjoy the sunset. I did my sketch on tracing paper as I usually do, and in transferring it, I've left out things like the swimmers and the children playing on the beach. It was just too detailed. Put in all the things that I like, a palm tree, a tiki hut, one of those lovely long-leafed pines, sand and a sunset. The sunset is the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to put in a blue sky, a darkish blue, using French ultramarine at the very top and a little bit down the side. I should say I'm using acrylics, and I have titanium white, cad yellow light, raw sienna, no raw umber today, French ultramarine blue. I've got some titanium white in the middle, and sap green and alizarin crimson. And I'm going to put a slash of white sort of down here, and I'll be mixing yellow and orange into that, but it'll give me a nice white base to do that. I'm going to mix my alizarin with a touch of yellow to give me an orange, and I'm going to put some titanium white in that to make it a little more opaque. And I'm going to put in an orange sky. And I'm going to put some orange in the water. And I'm also going to put some alizarin in the sky and a little in the water. And I'm going to use my powder brush just to sort of sweep that along. My dog is snoring. He's had a busy day. His bestie Wolfgang came over to visit for a little while. He's so much younger than Tommy, and he tires Tommy out. I'm going to put a little bit of sap green in with some blue and a little white, and I'm going to sort of make the water a bit greener on the sides here. Maybe a bit bluer on the horizon line. Try and keep that straight as possible. I'm mixing my yellow with some titanium white, and I'm going to put in my sun again. Bring it down a little bit. And I'm going to mix some white in with the yellow and just put in something a little brighter. I think that's looking a bit better. I'm going to use some raw sienna and put in my Tiki Hut. This is a bit bright. I'm mixing raw sienna in with my French ultramarine blue, and I'm going to just do a little of the trunk. I think I made the trunk too wide, and I don't want it to take over the beach. I'm going to make, using my alizarin and French ultramarine, I'm going to make a sort of purpley colour for the clouds up here. Oh my goodness, Tommy's snoring away. Let's put in some sand down here. This is a bit bright. I don't worry if I go over my sketch lines. It's just a guideline really, so that I can get everything in the right place, but it doesn't really matter if I cover them up. I look at my tracing paper drawing and sort of can see where things should be. But I do like to keep my figures as complete as possible because that's more difficult to do. It's my cat, Chrissy. Hi, Chrissy. Hello, Chrissy. You like to see it when I'm painting, don't you? Yes, you do. Put a bit of light in here too. All right, and I have a palm tree that you can just see a little bit of. It's coming along. I'm going to put my young guy in a white t-shirt. I'm just sort of sketching it in roughly. This guy in some grey shorts. I think I'm gonna make this guy blue shorts, maybe denims, and we'll give him a blue tee, a pale blue tee, a bit darker than that. And I think we're going to say he has a tan. So he's not wearing a tee. Neither is this guy. It's a bit orangey, but we'll straighten that out. There's my doggy. And I'm going to make this stripy. Actually, I think I like it just greenish. And we'll say they like their chairs matching. They bought the set. I should put some white in there. Okay, I think her hat is a straw hat. He's got one of those sort of grey things on. This guy's short could be a little bluer. This guy is wearing blue shorts. This girl has a red bikini on. And they are a bit paler because they're visitors from up north. I'm using a bristle fan brush to indicate the long needles on the pine. I'm not sure what type of pine it is, but the needles are quite long, longer than you usually see on a pine in the north, and quite luscious looking. They're very beautiful pine tree. The roots are very knobbly and sort of string out across the sand, and just very picturesque, I guess is the word I'm trying to find. I want to show this surf. It's a very gentle surf in the evening, and I'm just laying in titanium white across there. I think it probably is or should be tinted like either a rosy colour or yellow to reflect the sky, but to me surf looks like surf if it's white, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to reinforce the horizon line a little. It's really important because water being level and all, you've got to get that nice straight horizon line in there to make your picture have any sense to it. My acrylic paint from yesterday is all dried up, of course, so I've got a fresh palette and I've added Cad Red Light. It'll help with some of the details. So the first thing I'm going to do, and this is touch dry now, is put, I hope you can see it and not just my hand, I'm just going to put a cap on him. In my head, this is Dad. The young couple have brought a dad down to the beach with them. I'm going to use that red to add light to the peak and front of his hat. And I think that red might be a good colour. Maybe we'll make it red and green. What do you think? Yeah, I like that. Leave that white. That's my air conditioning that's just come on. It's over, I think it's about 88, something like that. and it's too warm for me to work, and it does affect the paint. Don't ask me about viscosity and stuff like that. I just don't know. That's beyond my capabilities. So I'm going to put a stripe in here. When you're doing detail work, you sometimes need something tiny. For instance, I'm going in here, just bringing this down a little more. I think that looks better. I think that looks better. It does detract from the sunset somewhat. So I have to live with that. Because it draws your eye and takes away from my sunset, which I think actually could do with a little brighter red. Don't want to mess up my sunset. I have a habit of overdoing things. I like that. Yes, I did this all wrong. Okay, it's going to change again. I'm going to take a wet brush but no colour on it and just take off this colour a little bit. Just wiping my brush on paper towel. I'm going to do the same down here. And I'm going to fill it with blue. That's better, isn't it? Because your eye isn't drawn to that corner. And you know what? I think I'm going to change this guy's cap. Just putting blue straight over the red, as long as it's something dark. Yeah. See, now you're looking at the sunset, not what's in the foreground. What's in the foreground can be interesting, but The colours must be subtle enough that you're not taking away from the main star of the picture, which in this case is my sunset. Just putting a few blues and things. A bit of sort of grey colour in here. I find putting something fairly dark down the sides sort of keeps you in the picture. I'm a lot happier with that. I have to finish off some legs. They're a little indistinct, but I'm a lot happier with that. So I'm using this teeny tiny brush. It's so old. I really it's a Winsor & Newton. I can't remember what number that is, and it's worn. It might be a 6. Let's call it a 6. It's so teeny tiny, but I can use it to do the details. And I apologize if all you can see is the back of my hand and my nose. I'll try and keep as far out as I can. This guy, because he's Dad, I think he comes from up north somewhere. He just comes down to spend a couple of months. And he always wears his sneakers. He can't get them off on the beach. Because, you know, that's not what he does. So I'm just doing his legs down to there, and I'm going to put a little more dark in here. Got his hands in his pockets. I think we can see the back of his neck. I think he's got sort of silver grey hair. Bit long and shaggy because he's been down here a couple of months and he doesn't go to the barber. So he has stubble, and I'm going to put a little tiny dab for his ears. We're getting very detailed. Hands in pockets. I think his legs come down a little more. And you know what? He has white sneakers. Traditional. We'll do some blue shading on his shirt because it needs to contrast a little more. Maybe sort of even white on his shoulder. This gal got her straw hat. I don't know. She lives down here with her boyfriend. And I think she got it from Target. Cheap chic, they call that, don't they? And she's tied that purple ribbon around there. So I think we need to accentuate that a little more. can't make a nice lavendery colour with cad yellow light and ultramarine, so I have to go find a different colour. I found some magenta, so I'm going to mix a little magenta with some white, and I'm going to make her ribbon this magenta colour. And I'm going to sort of top her one side of her bikini. Actually, I don't like that. Okay, I've mixed some ultramarine. Okay, I like that. Now I'm just going to work on her arm and legs. I'm going to make her back a little more tanned. His arm comes around here. Around his shoulders. Got to distinguish those. Going to mix a little tiny amount of white and give her a line down and his arm. I don't like that. There's something wrong there. His t-shirt ends here and I think his arm is here. That's his hand. I do tend to lose my drawing a little bit. Okay, so that's his arm, so we'll give him a little definition there. And this is her shoulder. We'll make her slightly paler then, across her shoulder and neck. And maybe I don't want to get too picky with it because picky is not my thing, but I do want them to look like real people. I think the boy has flip-flops on. And the girl does too. Try this. I think it's a better colour for the sand. I still got to put shadows in, and I've lost the definition on their feet a little bit. So I'm going to do that too. So I'm going to find that outline of her foot, which is I think there, and his leg. So I will live with that overnight and see if I feel compelled to do anything else to it. But hey, it was a good half a day's painting, I suppose. I started it yesterday afternoon, I finished it this morning, and I think that's as finished as I want to get. I don't usually do such detailed paintings, and it'll be a long time before I do another one this detailed, I think. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please help the algorithm find me by giving me a thumbs up. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.